Let's quickly give you the markets update before we take you to the Randburg Magistrates Court. The local bourse is in for a difficult session today after the Wall Street tumbled and the US stocks had their worst day since 2020 yesterday as investors considered the prospect of much less accommodative monetary policy. Now, independent markets analyst, that's Jimmy Moyaha, talks to us now through the latest market developments. Jimmy, good morning to you. Give us a sense of how the JSE is performing in early trade.
Morning to the viewers. JSE is performing quite negatively. Markets are all in the red. We've got the top 40 stocks down. We've got the top 40 nearing a 60,000 points mark. It's made a new low. We're not looking good at the moment. This is just following on from the bearish session we had in the US. We saw some bearishness in Asia. We saw some negativity on Tencent that's translated through to Naspers. But you've got your mining stocks are down. Your resource counters are down. You've got some financial stocks that are down as well. So all in all, not the best start to the Friday and not the best end to the week.
Sure. Let's talk about the Rand, which was also weaker this morning, having slumped 3.37% yesterday. How long is this slump expected to last?
The Rand's not in the best shape at the moment. If you remember correctly, around the March of 2021, I called the range of the Rand of 1450 to about 1650. We spent the longest time testing the downside of that range. We broke below that once or twice, but we were unable to sustain below that 1450 mark. We're now heading for the upper end of that range towards the 1650 mark. It's not looking very good at the moment. We have bounced off of 1540, which is where we were about yesterday, but we're already above 16 Rand 16 now at the moment. We're expecting that we might continue to see a lot of Rand weakness. There are a lot of factors at play at the moment that need to be considered. Chief amongst those is something like load shedding from a local perspective, which has been a driving factor of the Rand going back above 16 Rand. That, along with the impending US recession that we're expecting to see, the Russia-Ukraine tensions, the ongoing commitment from the Monetary Policy Committee of South Africa to continue to stabilize inflation through the increase of interest rates. So the Rand at the moment has got a lot of factors that are driving it and that will potentially drive it in the coming months. And those factors are not pointing in the direction of us going back towards 14 Rand. The main concern at the moment is if we break above 16 Rand 50, we have a new range where we could potentially see the Rand go back up to that 18 Rand level that we saw, unfortunately, a couple of months ago. So at the moment, the Rand sitting at above 16 Rand, 16.15 at the moment, and we are anticipating that we're going to go test that 16.40 to 16.50 range, upper end of that range, and hopefully we come down from there. But we do have a lot of factors that are not in the Rand's favor at the moment.
Jimmy, let's talk company news briefly. Alton, the shares plunging after the group published its trading statement. Talk us through their numbers and how the share price is looking roundabout now.
So Alton provided an update that they are expecting headline earnings per share to be significantly lower. They're expecting basic earnings per share from operations to be lower as well. They have outlined that headline earnings per share from continued operations are expected to increase, but they've cited that the basic earnings per share and headline earnings per share decreases as a result of the impact of their Bytes technology business that they had in the UK that they've disposed of in 2020. I think it was December of 2020. We do, of course, know that Altron's CEO, his tenure does come to an end at the end of June, so we expect a new CEO to start acting or to take official office from July as well. Under his leadership, the current CEO, Altron, has basically gone up and grown from a family business to a rather competitive IT business. They've seen a shareholder value increase of 6 times. So that's been a very good tenure for the current CEO. And going forward, I mean, the group has also outlined that one of their divisions, which was previously marked for as a discontinued operation, Altron Arrow, is back on the table. It's now a continued operation as well. So they're expecting to revive that going forward. We do know that we expect the final results to be out in a couple of days on the 16th of May. For the moment, I think a lot of the guidance around a negative headline earnings per share is what's driving the reaction and an expected negative basic earnings per share. So when those results come out, we'll have a better bearing as to whether or not we are on the lower end of what looks to be a 69% decrease in headline earnings per share, or whether we're closer to that 80% that they've outlined.
Let's conclude the conversation with MTN Rwanda, which has released results for the quarter which ended on the 31st of March 2022. How are they doing?
They reported very positive numbers for the first quarter of 2022. Revenues were up 24%. They said that voice and data revenues were up. Earnings before interest and tax was also up some 15-odd%. They said that they grew their mobile active data users by about some 450,000. Their mobile money division was up some 12%. So all in all, positive numbers out of the Rwanda division, which is in line with the rest of MTN as a group. We've seen this come out of their Ghana numbers as well. We've seen it come out of their South African numbers. They are expecting to see continued growth. MTN Rwanda did outline, though, that there's an increase in financing costs and there's also an increase in depreciation, but that's as a result of the costs of renewing their licensing fees in Rwanda. So we expect that those once-off costs, the renewal fees, will take place in line with continuing business operations. It's nothing too concerning there, aside from the fact that the interest costs on that seem to have increased quite significantly. But again, this is in line with operations and it's necessary for their continuation of operations. And the overall consensus around their results and their performance is much in line with the group, very positive at the moment.
Jimmy Moyaha is independent markets analyst. Thank you very much for that markets update.